sounds wicked now.
We're all good.
Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone happy?
Yeah.
Not too loud?
Absolutely.
No,
Is that
good.
okay for
That's
you?
all much
All
better.
good.
Yeah.
Sangeeta, good for you as well?
all good.
Look, I am in control here. I've got maximum control over everyone. There you go. I'm just going to turn myself down a little bit as well. Okay. Well, you know what we do, don't you? You know what we do here?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about creativity in Essex.
Yeah, fantastic.
And it's been a pretty amazing week for creativity in Essex, hasn't it, Sangeeta? Because
It really has.
Subreezy
We
has been on the Rap Game UK.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I keep seeing adverts for that and thinking I really should watch it. But I didn't realise that there was someone from Essex.
Yeah.
No better than Essex.
Chelmsford.
Yeah,
She's in
and sister
Chelmsford.
of George, who helped set up Are You Creative? So,
Amazing.
Yeah.
total Are You Creative alumni. Hopefully, she'll come on as a guest.
Yeah.
at some point.
yeah.
When
Yes.
she's finished. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Fingers
But
crossed.
it's been amazing. She's been on it. She's been mentored by DWE, the
Yeah.
absolute grime legend. She was playing at Leeds Festival.
Oh, my
Yep.
gosh. Oh, wow.
And did she keep this all secret?
She did, actually. Yeah. I think part of it was the terms and conditions.
Oh, yeah.
until
We
she
know
was
about
out.
those. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
really.
Really?
But she's now out and she's letting us all know where she's been.
Yeah.
Amazing. She'll be headlining Sounds Good Festival next year
I'm
or something.
telling you what, it wouldn't surprise me. That's if we can afford her by next year.
Yeah,
Oh, my
this
God.
is it, right?
well, you know, Choose Your Chill can always afford her. It's whoever sounds good can, you know.
definitely.
Welcome to Are You Creative Podcast, the podcast for creativity in and around Essex, the best county in the world, of course. And we're broadcasting to you from here. Where do you broadcast our podcast? We're podcasting. We are podcasting from City Sound. Thank you very much for setting up, Paul, and letting us use the space in, not Radio City, Toaster City. Because I found out that Chelmsford is the birthplace of the toaster.
No way.
Yeah, the toaster was invented in Chelmsford by Colonel Crumpton.
Oh.
Colonel Crumpton.
And let me tell you, Gary Macaroni, not Edward, Gary Macaroni didn't even invent the radio here. He bought the radio here.
Yeah.
But the toaster was 100% legitimately invented here. And I'll let you know, you cannot digitize toast. No one's ever going to podcast toast. Radio's dead, right? But toast is going to live on forever.
Wow.
People are always going to toast. What else are you going to do? You're not going to be able to print a bit of toast out or something, are you?
No.
Download and print a bit of toast?
No.
I don't know. So we are in Toaster City here.
Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Wow.
Big up Crompton.
Yeah.
Let's get a statue up of him. Where's Crompton's statue?
I'm still marvelling in the fact that you call him Gary Macaroni.
Yeah, Gary Macaroni. Is his English? Is his Essex name?
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
you know, his Italian
Runs a
name.
stall down the road.
What's his
yeah.
Italian name?
Marconi. Yeah.
No. What's his first name? Guillermo.
Guglielmo. Guglielmo Marconi.
Guillermo Macaroni.
Guglielmo.
Yeah, Guillermo.
You say it a lot better.
Guillermo Macaroni. Anyway, it's Gary Macaroni.
Okay, yeah.
He's ours,
yeah.
Essex, but Colonel Crompton, big up.
There we go.
I'm going to Crompton myself a couple of slices of bread when I get home.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You going to cromp anything later on?
No.
Oh,
I cromp about 4 times a day, I've got to say. It's
Yeah.
much more than I listen to radio.
oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm here. I'm so-called creative expert Nick Kern, creative director for advertising and Silly Man. And I'm here with Sangeeta.
Mitra from
Yes,
New Generation
Sangeeta Mitra,
from New Generation Development Agency.
creative novice.
Not creative.
Creative novice. Sangeeta Mitra from New Generation Development Agency. A little bit more creative every week, I think.
I'm learning.
Mhm.
I'm learning.
Mhm.
I'm learning.
Yeah, you are learning. I would say, what are you on now? Like 7.8% creative?
7.8%.
I'm a slow
I'm-
learner.
I'm 100%, right? You're 7.8. We're going to get
Well,
you up
listen,
there.
you've been doing it for X amount of decades.
I know, I'm a
I've only
professional.
just started,
Mm.
literally
Yeah.
months.
But you know, we do have people with more than 100% creativity on here.
Yeah, we
that,
do.
that I look up to, like,
Yeah.
and think they're amazing. And we've got another amazing guest today, who is Donna. Say hello, Donna.
Hello.
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Now, Donna, before we start, we have to check your Essex credentials.
Oh, gosh.
So, can I see your passport, please?
I seem to have forgotten it. I'm
But-
really sorry.
Where, born in Essex?
No.
Living in Essex?
Yes.
Excellent. Living near the studio?
Absolutely.
I think there's only one person that lives closer to the studio than you, and that is me. And we'll get we'll get a bit of string out later and measure our houses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But yeah, I'll race you home. We'll text when we get home. But
Okay.
I think I live about 10 metres closer to this studio, which is pretty amazing. Donna, can I say your full name?
Oh, yeah, please do.
What's your full name?
Donna Lennard. That is my name.
Donna just looked at me like with like this mad face. Donna Lennard. Donna Leonard.
Yes.
Are you creative?
Yes.
Amazing.
Ah.
So, Sangeeta, what would a Donna do?
So, normally each week, obviously, now everybody knows I get to guess what our guests do. And most of the times there's a giveaway, but there isn't a giveaway today.
I thought I'd given you some clues.
No.
What do you mean?
There
Donna
isn't.
Donna has got amazing microphone technique.
No, right. So, can you stop and let me finish?
No.
What I was going to say
Yes.
is you've got a lovely microphone voice
Thank
before
you.
he beat me to it.
Of course.
And you seem very confident on the microphone. So I'm going to go with a presenter of some sort.
Oh.
So that's
Not quite, but Donna's voice is a weapon.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shall I reveal?
Please.
Yes.
Well, I am an opera singer.
No way.
No.
Can you believe we've got an
Are
opera
you
singer here in
really?
Chelmsford?
Are you really?
I am, yes, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh,
you-
I've never met an opera singer before.
I know, and you'll never meet one again, probably.
Yeah, they're quite rare. They're as rare as Pavarotti's teeth, aren't they?
Probably.
Wow.
How many opera singers do you think there are in the country?
Oh, gosh. There are probably more than you think, actually.
Yeah, but good ones.
Gosh. Well, I don't count myself in one of those, unfortunately, but probably maybe 50.
50 opera singers.
Like
That's amazing.
good opera singers.
Now,
Yeah.
I grew up in Colchester, and one of my friend's dads was an opera singer.
Mm.
And it used to amaze me. You walk past their house and you could hear him doing his scales in the house and stuff like that.
Very good.
So that's weird. I've met two out of 50. I could collect. There's only 48 to go.
Get some
It's like
get your top trumps
yeah,
going.
no, it's like opera Pokemon.
Yeah.
Find the others.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there we go.
How long have you been opera singing for?
Professionally, I suppose, for about 12 years. So,
And how did
yeah.
you? What made you want to sing opera?
Well, it was a
Do
bit weird,
opera?
really. I mean, I've always loved singing, really, really enjoyed it. But when I was younger, the classic thing, you want to be a pop singer.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I want to sing pop. I want to be cool.
Of course.
And then I remember my teacher at the time, my music teacher, sort of listening to me, and he was like, "You know what? You should really get some singing lessons." And I kind of thought, well, that's a bit rude.
Yeah, it's a bit rude.
Yeah, I was like, hang on a minute, what are you trying to say, mate?
Yeah,
And
all the dogs are barking.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I started having some singing lessons when I was at high school, and then my teacher would sort of surreptitiously kind of keep passing me these sort of classical music pieces, being like, "Well, maybe you should try some of these." And I was like, "Okay."
Try Ride of the Valkyries. Why not?
Why
Why not?
not?
Why not? You know,
Yeah,
it's just-
okay, whatever. And then, now I don't know whether this is acceptable in this day and age, but my drama teacher at the time said, "Would you like to come to France with me and a few others? We're going to be performing some opera arias to some friends in a chateau that they own." I was
What?
like,
Oh,
yeah. And my parents were like, "Yeah, of course. You can go with your drama teacher to France. That's fine."
to a chateau.
To a chateau, as you do.
This really doesn't sound like the start of a horror movie.
No, not at all. Yeah, and we were driving in the dark, and so we went to France, and we did this kind of arrangement of some Mozart arias, and it was very short. It was just a few Mozart arias, Mozart songs that we.
Is an aria a song, by the way?
Yeah, I was just
Sangeeta, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Ask
just,
in a minute
So
anyway.
yeah. So an aria is a song, so like a solo song that someone sings in an opera, and so it's just a collection of these songs all put together to tell a story. And I was like, oh, okay, I kind of learnt it. But then I performed it with the others, and oh my goodness, just the thrill of singing in this kind of way with the power behind it. And I'm a soprano as well, which means that I've got a high voice.
right.
Oh, not. You're not a gangster.
I'm not a gangster. No, I'm not Tony Soprano. No. I've got this high voice, and it's something about being able to sing up to these heights. It's quite thrilling.
Wow.
But also using all the things that opera uses. So we've got music, we've got drama, we've got the power of an orchestra, we've got all the set, the costumes, everything. All of that kind of comes together to tell this story. And when we were doing this for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. This is super powerful.
So this literally in the chateau, right? This
Yeah.
I love this origin story,
Yeah,
by
I
the way.
know, right?
I'm just driving up in the rain, in the dark, and everything, and suddenly it's like the first time you've ever sung with other people with the same sort of quality of voice.
Yeah.
And did you have what are they called, like sotto? Is it sotto? No, what's the bassy guy?
A bass, yeah.
Just a bass.
Bass,
Yeah, I knew the word. I thought you'd have some like crazy Italian name, Bassissimo or something.
No, bass. So bass, tenor, mezzo soprano, soprano. Those are kind of the standard voices. You get other voices as well, like countertenors, and they're men that sing in their falsetto voice, so in a very high voice. So they sing like a mezzo soprano. So they've got a very high voice. So and then you get some ladies that sing very, very low.
What's the octave range in between so you know the octaves is like the sort of scale, and what's like the range between the top and the bottom?
Oh,
like if you got singers, so like you're right at the top, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, there are people that go higher than me, though. I mean, my range is probably about 2.5 octaves. So an octave is 8 notes.
Right.
So then I can sing. So from down low, I won't demonstrate right now.
But you will later, won't you?
Maybe. Yeah. From down low, and then I can go up to maybe like a top D sharp or something. But there are some singers who actually have made a career of being able to sing like super duper high. If you think like Mariah Carey, kind
of course,
up in there.
Yeah.
So they can sing like that, and which is incredible. But then the basses, there are some basses who are kind of really, really low. And again, they make their career from just singing in their boots, basically.
Sangeeta, how low can you go?
How low can you
God.
go?
How low can you go?
Well,
Oh, no.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about how high can I go.
Yeah.
So I think we've established Sangeeta's got a 3-note range.
I'm getting there. Can I ask, Donna, look, this is a question I've always wanted to know about opera singers.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so with an opera, you're on a stage and you're acting. Like you said, you see people, they're doing all this dramatic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the actual singers then?
Yeah.
So you've been on a stage like one of those people?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the best thing I love about opera is actually the fact that it's all unamplified.
Right.
Wow.
So the fact
that was my next question.
Yeah. So
actually.
you've got all these singers on a stage, and you've got a massive orchestra down in the pit.
Wow.
And they have to put them down in the pit because obviously they, if
Make
they
a
were,
bloody racket.
they make
don't
a
they?
bloody racket.
Bloody racket. All that violining, like Elodie that was here the other day, young musician finder's.
Yeah. I want none of that. Keep them down there, mate.
I mean, you've got to outblast a trumpet.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So then you have to sing over the top of all of this orchestra, and then direct it to up to 2,000 people in an amphitheatre or whatever.
Wow.
So yeah.
So how old was you when you did your first? I know you went to France, but when you did your first proper gig,
my first proper gig, I was lucky actually. After my training, I went to the Guildhall School of Music to do a master's.
How long was your training?
I mean, it was only 2 years, a master's, and then I went and did like a course with English National Opera.
Oh wow!
Which was really fun actually. It was just kind of I'd had a kid at the same time, and this is another thing that was difficult, is balancing kids and career and everything.
Different high-pitched screaming in the house.
Yeah,
different rooms.
I mean, my eldest has heard a lot of my voice because I used to kind of just sing really loud at her just to try and to get her to stop crying. But that's another story.
Can you imagine bedtime songs in the Donna Lennard house?
God.
Can you imagine like Old MacDonald?
Oh
Old MacDonald had an opus.
But I got my first professional gig at the Royal Opera House, but it was not on the main stage, I've got to say that, but it was in what was used to be called the Limbury Studio, and it was a brand new opera, which was a family opera called How the Whale Became. And that was a scary experience because I'm suddenly walking around the Royal Opera House backstage, and seeing people. There's an excellent bass called Willard White. If you look him up, he's just incredible. He's like the opera world's Barry White.
Oh wow!
He's just
equally as sexy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And he's warming up in the corridors. Like,
yeah, he's just walking around. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
So yeah, and that was a scary experience, but at the same time, because a lot of the work I do now is in contemporary opera. So I work with composers to premiere new work, which is a lot of fun actually. And it means that you're sort of starting something from new rather than sort of singing things that were written hundreds of years ago. So
So
yeah.
this is like I saw you singing in the Little Prince.
Yeah.
Now, right, this Little Prince show was amazing. I thought we went to see it, and I knew it was like going to be a little bit weird and artistic, you know, because the staging was brilliant and the stories were. But what was amazing was Donna played maybe 4 characters or 5 characters, five characters, and all of them had like different outfits, but quite different ways of singing. I think, and different vibes. One of them was like some mad electro calculator robot person, but still in an opera way.
Wow.
So you know, you can't imagine. I don't know. Is it Paganini or someone like that? Right? You can't imagine Paganini writing in like a robot calculator, like singing like binary sort of 01 0 0 1 1 0 1, but like obviously 0 1.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh wow. So where has your career taken you across the world? Like how?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken me, sort of Germany. I suppose the furthest places is China. Yeah,
Wow.
so with this particular show, The Little Prince, we actually took it to China.
Wow.
And that was an interesting one because one of the characters I play in it is a king who addresses the audience. So I have to sort of, hello, you know, I have to talk to the audience and order them to do things. But then I had to do it in Chinese.
What?
So just to try and, they did what I said, which was incredible.
How did you learn that in Chinese?
I mean, my sister actually lives there. She's been living there for the last 6 years. So I kind of kept voice noting her and be like, does this sound vaguely right?
Sorry, Donna, you can't just drop that in and not do it.
Oh,
Can
gosh,
you
I didn't think I
do
could.
it Chinese now?
Oh, gosh,
It's okay,
I
don't worry.
can't remember it.
We haven't had a listener from China yet, so
Okay, yeah.
But do you know? Just on a side quest,
Yes.
my brother got married to a Japanese lady years ago, and I did a best man speech in Japanese.
Amazing.
And I did it I wrote down what I wanted to say, then I got his fiance to translate it back to me in Japanese, and then I wrote down what I thought the word sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read it, and my brother said, oh my God, it was hilarious. You could understand it, but he said it was like when Borat speaks English. So it was like if Borat was speaking Japanese.
I mean, do they have the same thing in Japanese with the tones? And,
It's quite the same sounds. It's like the same sounds. So you can say, but he said it was a really funny speech anyway, but the fact it sounded like Borat made all the Japanese people were just dying.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I wonder, do you think your Chinese was great Chinese, or do you think it was like Borat Chinese?
I remember the first time when we were rehearsing beforehand, the Chinese staff were kind of giggling. So, I mean, the audience did what I asked them to. I asked them to stand up and sit down, and they actually did it.
Oh,
but,
amazing.
Yeah.
So they understood.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
I love hearing about this Chinese adventure. Where else have you been? Have you been to the Sydney Opera House?
No, I haven't. No.
Where's like the best places? Because I've got to say, doing the English National Opera at the Royal Opera House. I mean, you can't get much more highbrow than that, right?
No.
What's better?
I mean, I've sung at Glyndebourne. That's pretty fancy.
What is that? Come on, you got to
Okay, so
we're
Glyndebourne.
not cultured.
I know. Glyndebourne is an opera house in Sussex.
Oh.
Is that right? I think so. And it's in Lewes. And it's beautiful, but they hold a summer festival there every year where people dress up in very fancy clothing and pay a lot of money to go and watch some really excellent opera.
So you can't turn up in Primark then?
No.
What, do you have to get a fancy dress as well?
Well, yes, of course. Yeah, that's part of the
Is that the deal? That's the rider.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah. I want to see the receipts.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say I wasn't part of that, the festival. But there was they did a youth opera. They've got a wonderful youth opera there, and it was a brand new opera, a new contemporary opera, and it was called Tycho's Dream. And I played this mad robot kind of lady there. But again, like just being in these surroundings, so they've got these gorgeous kind of gardens all around. It's all very fancy. So
youth opera, are there lots of young people that are going in? Like,
not a lot. I mean, I grew up in Bedford. And we had the Bedfordshire Youth Opera there. And that was one of only 2 youth operas in the country.
BYO?
BYO. Wow. Bring your own.
Come on, yeah. Everyone turned up with bottles of wine, clinking in carrier bags. Yeah.
There wasn't so much of that, thankfully. But yeah, so it was only one of 2 youth operas in the country, apart from the what's it called, the British Youth Opera. So and I don't just
BYO,
another BYO,
BYO, turning up with their bags, clinking with wine. Yeah, right.
yeah, why not? But yeah, so it's it's not. It doesn't seem to be that much of a thing, which is a bit of a shame, really, because even though not everyone wants to kind of go around singing opera. I mean, it's quite a I don't know. It's an acquired taste, I think, for some people.
That was my next thing.
I would say opera's a bit much. I went to Punch Drunk.
Oh yes,
with the English National Opera, and someone just started belting out opera right next to me, and I was like, no, I prefer heavy metal guitars. I really appreciate that. The clarity of voice is incredible. The fact that nothing can ever match the human voice for range and emotion. It's incredible what they do. But it wasn't for me.
No, I mean, when it's done right, when it's because you can have a range. The whole point of the human voice, as you say, in an opera as well, is to have this range where you can kind of sing over the top of an orchestra, but at the same time you can sing really quietly and sing song repertoire where it's just you and a piano. It's the over the top of the orchestra bits that I don't like. I like it when it's quiet and a bit tranquil. Yeah, exactly.
This is going to sound really rude. I like the Enya end of.
Oh God.
I like it a bit little, but what you did in The Little Prince, that sort of thing is like so good where you can hear the range of things. You don't need to go full Axl Rose.
No, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Again, there are different styles in opera, different what's called fachs. And,
hang on. What?
F-A-C-H, Fach.
Okay, just checking whether we have to beep it.
Just being careful, yeah. But the Fach is a German way of saying what type of voice you have. Okay. So, for instance, there are some Wagnerian singers, so singers who sing Wagner music, and they have got big, beefy voices, and because Wagner's
they've got fucking beefy voices.
Fucking beefy voices, mate.
And these are the Viking helmet women with the plaits. Yeah,
exactly.
And Donna, how would they sound?
Yeah, I don't know.
How would they sing?
Don't know.
How would they sing, Donna?
Do you want me to give you an example?
Yes, come on.
So a Wagner voice would be
not right into the mic.
I was going to say,
you could
I'll come back a bit.
Yeah.
So a Wagner voice would be very gone. So it'd be a lot of vibrato, but that's too much. Like I don't sing that style of music, so that's too much. So whereas
that was really loud.
That was amazing. Oh my God, that was amazing.
Can you imagine that if you were just in a traffic jam, just belting it out in your car?
I often am. I mean, on the way to gigs and things, I'm like warming up in the car, and I often get some strange kind of looks.
I do that as well. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You've got to do it, haven't you? You've got to get your voice warmed up.
Absolutely.
So where do you have a studio that you practice at? Like, how does it work for you?
Yeah, just in my house.
Really?
Yeah. I've just got a small piano, and that's what I was saying about earlier about how it's a shame in Chelmsford in terms of rehearsal spaces that they don't have kind of that many. It would be nice to have a few kind of rehearsal spaces where you can pop in and warm yourself up.
Can you rehearse quietly though? I've never heard your voice when I go past your house. By the way. But can you? Are you giving it the full beans when you're rehearsing?
Probably not. No, I mean. It'd be good to, but then at the same time, I'm a terraced house. So
is it because you're conscious that you've got people around you? But had you been in a studio, padded out studio, you would be able to just be your true self.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go full Wagner.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you do this now as a career?
Well, yeah, I guess so. It's an interesting one because I guess because I'm a mum. And because of the type of music that I sing, as I say, I'm an opera singer, but I do a lot of contemporary stuff, and that's quite niche. And there's a lot of it's dependent on funding. Right. So if the arts companies or I often work with dance companies or dance theatre companies. If they don't have any money at that point, then they don't need a singer or they can't afford a singer or whatever. So, I mean, it is quite off and on, but I quite like that because it's the variety that it gives me in my work. I could do loads and loads of just really odd, crazy things. I've been a catfish. I've been bile.
Bile?
Bile. B-I-L-E.
Wow.
Bile, yeah.
Oh my God. We had an actor in Carlos once, and when he was at acting school, he had to be a sausage.
Yeah, I remember this,
Yeah. Now I think bile is even better than being a sausage. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I mean, that was quite an artistic, quite serious piece. It was called The Anatomy of Melancholy, and it was all about an old school thinking of what made you.
Oh, the humours.
Yeah, the humours, exactly, yeah. So I was yellow, I was bile. So, I mean, yeah. And
Can you imagine, here's your outfit. Oh, yeah, it's a bit stinky.
Sticky, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of crazy things, but and then in between that, I do really boring admin jobs, and I waitress sometimes. Even though I'm getting on a bit, it's still trying to find that balance of doing the things that I love and doing the things I have to do.
This is like the life of an artist, though. It's incredible, isn't it? Like, really, it's like piecemeal when things come in. And that's the thing that, often, you are somewhere and like someone who's serving you a drink or food in a restaurant, they could be an opera singer.
Yeah.
I know a lot of bands that like, you think they were really, they're playing like Glastonbury and stuff and they're still working at JD Weatherspoons or something like that. You never know. And it's only until you hear them going all full Wagnerian. Is it Wagnerian?
Yeah.
Wagnerian in the kitchen.
Get your Foch right, mate.
So for someone like yourself, being a self-employed singer, I guess, being your role. So do you do what other creatives do, and that is look for your own commissions?
Yeah.
So you are there places that you go to see kind of what jobs advertised, I guess, and then you see something, you think that might be it, and then how does it work? Your application process? Do you send a CD in, or
it's
how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, it's it depends on the type of job. I mean, for most things, you'd write an application in and then you'd audition. So it's the audition process. Oh,
you know, if there's only 50 opera singers,
no.
Can you imagine? It's just LinkedIn.
Yeah,
it's just LinkedIn for opera singers. There's 50 there. It's like, I mean, I suppose you can't. There's got to be a good soap opera in that because or comedy because. You can't piss anyone off, I suppose.
No.
You never guess what Donna did.
I mean, that was a bit of an exaggeration, I suppose. There are more than that. There are a good few thousand, but the problem is for me as well is that probably of those few thousand, say there's like 3,000 opera singers in England. Probably about 2,999 of those are sopranos.
Right,
so it's a really difficult.
Bass is the rare one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Basses and tenors they get work a lot easier,
right?
And that's why they can have a lager beforehand or whatever, and turn up to an audition and be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, just had 20 marbles, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Helps with the voice, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you look after your voice?
Okay, right. How do I look after? I don't scream. I don't force it too much.
So no shouting at the kids?
No, I just opera sing at them. That's it. But no, I
really?
mean,
up the stairs. I can't even opera. Tidy your room.
Have you ever done anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They're very bored of it now, I'm sure.
Wow.
But,
I can imagine if you and your husband have an answer, he's like, no, you haven't. Yes, I have.
There's a thing in opera, in Mozart opera particularly, called recitative. And it's basically where people sort of sing speak kind of thing. So there'll be a chord, dling, I am going up the stairs, bring, where, bring, over there, and then they will kind of have this kind of conversation while these sort of chords are going on, and it's nonsense. So sometimes we'll just be doing that at home. I'm like, Scarlett, do you know what you're doing? No, So,
has she got a voice to sing back?
Fun.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So,
yeah.
Could you think it could be genetic?
I think if you are musical around them, they will innately pick that up. I think there's no way that they can't really. Yeah. So both my girls are musical, and I think it. I mean, when I was pregnant with my youngest one, Matilda, I was doing dancing and singing at the same time up to 8 months pregnant.
Wow.
And with Scarlett as well, actually, I did my final recital at Guildhall 8 months pregnant as well. So I think
were you not worried about like shaking her out?
A little bit, yeah. And but she seems to have kind of picked those bits up. Both of them seems to have picked musicality up.
We're talking about keeping your voice, your vocal quality here. So, saying you don't shout as well. Is there anything else you do?
Yeah, I steam. I love a bit of steaming. So I know. So if my voice is ever really, really super tired, or if I feel like something's going on, then I'll steam. That seems to help get rid of any bugs and things like that. I also
hang on. Yeah. How do you steam?
Okay, so the best thing to do is just to go to a nice steam room in a spa somewhere.
It's not opening the dishwasher and steaming it, because I've heard some people do that.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you can just get a bowl of hot water. Just put your head over with a towel, and
you just inhale.
Yeah, or you can get these actual things now where you sort of put them over your face.
So is that something you learned? That this is what I have to do as an opera singer.
There was a little bit
look after my voice.
Yeah, there was a little bit of advice that went on when I was doing my masters about what to do, and things like I don't drink caffeine.
Yeah,
and that's not really a choice. That was just I just don't really like it.
And do you have to look out for chocolate and things like that on the day of a performance?
Yeah, so things that give kind of acid reflux. So anything that's too like vinegary or anything like that. I don't eat a lot of sugar anyway, and again that's helped kind of keep things clear.
Do you wake up sometimes on the day of a gig? You probably call them gigs, do you? Call them gigs?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, my voice is like 90% or something, and like you've got to get it tuned. Is like, oh my god, right, hang on, this is so different. But when I was at Download, I lost my voice, and I had to do my second performance. So I was ill. And I had so much honey and stuff, and I got my voice back just enough to do another performance. Then I lost it again for a day.
Gosh!
And it was it's so stressful. Thinking like my voice is not my talent, because I can't sing very well, but it is my talent. That's what I'm doing. And to be like, no, it's gone. A drummer, you can always. Yeah, if your head was falling off, you can still play drums.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'm saying that as a drummer. You still could, no matter how bad you feel, you can still pull it together. But a voice, you cannot fake that.
No, I mean, I did an orchestral gig a few months ago. Oh, when was last year? I think. I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I did an orchestral gig, and it was at St John Smith Square. Beautiful, beautiful venue with a big orchestra behind me, and it was this gorgeous piece of music called Notturni ed Alba. It was all about the night. Gorgeous pieces by John McCabe, so another kind of contemporary composer who sadly passed away a few years ago. But anyway, I was really invested in this piece. Absolutely glorious. But my voice was super tired, and it was really, really
from illness, or
a bit of illness, bit of tiredness, and it's that fear, fear as you're walking onto the stage, being like, I'm not sure I can get through this. But luckily, because I've just really worked on my technique, I managed to get through this.
And the adrenaline pumps. It's funny. I was thinking to Richard Osman the other day, talking about like, do bands ever need a wee on stage? No, you don't.
No,
you can go on stage and you'll never think about needing a wee, or. As soon as you just stepped on stage, everything suddenly goes adrenaline, pump, 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 fully like it'll pull you through anything, won't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And one other thing I wanted to ask about your vocal. So now, before Beyonce goes on tour, I've heard that Beyonce will go on vocal rest and not sing, not even talk for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Now, I think that's a big excuse for Beyonce just to,
be a diva.
Just be a diva, and to nod towards drinks and people bring them over and stuff. But, is there anything in that? Would you rest your voice quite a lot before a big performance?
I wouldn't, just because I can't.
So we can't call you the Beyonce of Chelmsford?
No, I'm afraid not. No. I mean, you can if you want.
I was going to say, I'm still going to call you that.
Yeah, please do. But I don't know. There's a thing about not whispering. I think that's a big thing, because if you whisper, you're actually forcing a lot of air through your vocal folds.
Wow.
that strains it, which is not very good for you. So if you are going to vocal rest, you literally don't say anything. And I need to communicate with people, like my kids.
That's so amazing, though, isn't it?
I love it. I can't believe it. I'm in awe.
I really want to see a comedy sketch. I mean, actually, Donna's really good at comedy, but like a comedy sketch of your house where you're turning like this whole discussion about the kids haven't done their homework or whatever, and they've had too much screen time. And have you brushed your teeth today?
Yeah.
I think it'd be so fun with responses coming from different rooms.
Yeah, great. We'll do it.
There we go. Featuring the Beyonce of Molsham. No, but it's amazing, isn't it? It's like these professions that when you see someone out of what they wear for their profession, if I said to you there's an opera singing coming on, you probably think like Pavarotti's going to turn up in like a dicky bow and like a rose on his lapel and stuff.
Absolutely.
But I think that's the issue with opera, actually, is that there are still a lot of stereotypes surrounding it, that people think that people, singers should be very big,
Yep.
that they should be dressed in a certain way, pashminas
Yep.
and scarves, and come in sort of flouncing in and being divas.
Absolutely.
With flowers thrown at their feet.
Oh,
and stuff.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. The whole prima donna thing, I'm like, I'm Donna by name, but not, by nature.
So you've never turned up on a gondola or anything like that? Or like,
You know what? That's my next gig. I'm doing it.
have you ever?
Juan Cornetto.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yes,
Brilliant.
come on,
You
give it
got
to
me.
me. Italian ice cream from Italy. Oh no, I know it's Italian ice cream from Italy, but I can't remember. It's a delicious ice cream from Italy. Okay, so do you ever operate in Chelmsford?
I did do a thing actually for Chelmsford Museum a couple of years ago. So that was for the Marconi, the Birth of Radio celebration.
Where was Crompton's celebration?
Sorry, Gary Marconi's celebration.
Gary Macaroni. We're talking about the Crompton toasters here. Yeah, so we'll have another celebration another time.
So I think, a couple of years ago, it was the birth. They were celebrating the birth of radio. So I got in contact. Somebody got in contact with me just to say, would you like to sing on a thing? So my voice was in the museum for a little while.
Amazing.
I actually heard that. It was really nice. It was nice.
Oh.
Yeah, you put the headphones on and hear it, and to have a little bit of radio crackle on. It was like it was like kind of like World War II. So it was like a Vera Lynn sort of.
That's
thing,
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So versatile.
Well, yeah, it'd be nice to do some more local stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think again, like with always balancing sort of family and stuff. It'd be nice to kind of not be travelling away quite so often. But
do you know there's a secret space that I only found about recently, which is the studio at the theatre, and it's like 200 capacity. And it's a beautiful little room.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for performances. Like The Little Prince would be amazing there.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying. They are getting more varied in their programming there. They don't do a lot of contemporary dance though. So The Little Prince is done by a dance theatre company called Protein.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been performing with them on and off for years and years. And they're wonderful because they've sort of taken me into their arms as a singer, even though I'm not a dancer. And I mean, the dancers that they employ are exceptional.
But that's why they got Donna doing 5 different characters.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like,
you can't move.
You've got to earn your place.
Yeah, you've
got to
stand
do
there,
that.
stand there,
exactly.
stand there and be a robot. Now you're the king.
Yeah.
Now you're a balloon. I can't remember what else you were.
I was a rose and a rose garden, and I mean, yeah.
But this Little Prince, is it? It must be like the 3rd year you're doing it. Or something?
Yeah, we're doing it again this Christmas, which is
amazing.
wonderful. Yeah,
I'd really highly recommend it, Sangeeta.
Yeah,
It's so
where is
good.
it? Where would you be doing it?
So we're doing it at Dance East in Ipswich, and we're doing it at The Place in London.
Okay.
Where's the place?
It's
not a fish and chip
you know
shop.
The Place.
Is it?
It's near The Place. No, it's the London Contemporary School of Dance.
Okay.
So it's just opposite Euston Station. So yeah, it's not very.
Oh, that's good. Was that where I saw you do it? It felt really Christmassy. It was really Christmassy.
Yeah.
It was really, I loved it.
Yeah. Not as much as some people. I know some people do a lot of kind of choral singing, and that this time for them is really, really very busy. For me, as I say, because of the nature of the work that I do, it's not so much. It just depends on the project. So, yeah.
You haven't thought about like going down Chelmsford High Street and blasting out 5 gold rings?
You know what? I was thinking of doing a bit of caroling this year, trying to bring the girls along with me as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can
that
you
would be
imagine?
amazing.
People would be like chucking tenors in.
I know. We've started doing a bit of harmony work at home. So
Have
that's,
you?
doing rounds and things like rounds are so fun to see. Like London's Burning and things like that. Yeah. Love a bit of that. So.
I can imagine that on a car journey. It must be so fun.
Yeah, we're essentially trying to become the Von Trapp family. So we just need my husband, who's not musical at all, to try and
I think your husband's the sort of guy, like the Pet Shop Boys, there's a guy that just stands there on a keyboard and just looks mysterious.
He can kind of sway from side to side. He can be the backing dancer.
There we go. We got a plan.
He's incredibly funny as well. So I think he would get into that, like just playing the keyboard at the back.
Absolutely, yeah.
Looking mysterious.
Wow.
Because obviously you got discovered by a music teacher. How, if someone thinks, oh, hang on, I've got some good pipes here. I think I've got quite a purity of voice.
Mm-hmm.
How would you even go about finding out if you could be an opera singer, or how could you even start?
Oh golly, I don't know.
What, you just have to be plucked by the opera gods, so we choose you.
I think obviously get singing lessons first of all. So find a really good teacher and start exploring that repertoire. If they're a good teacher, what they'll do is they'll start looking through some very basic stuff with you first and leave the Wagner well aside. The thing with a lot of repertoire, operatic repertoire, is that you've got to be really careful not to overstrain your voice. It takes time to develop. They say that for a female, your voice isn't fully developed until you're about 30 years old.
Really? And but you should always be like exercising it. It's a bit like doing like yoga or like something like that. You constantly got to be practicing and
ideally, yes. Yeah, you should kind of be. It's a muscle, and you have to, these muscles inside your throat, you have to be able to kind of warm them up gently and keep developing them, so that then muscle memory kicks in, and then your technique and your abdominal muscles and everything that helps you to sing and support your voice knows what it's doing.
So actually, you use your whole body.
Oh yeah.
Because that's something I didn't really think of until speaking with you now. I'm thinking, oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
So you're right, I guess, from here.
Yeah, so breathing is a massive, massive part of it. So regardless of whether you've got the prettiest little voice, if you can't support it by using your whole body to breathe, then there's not really much.
And those are techniques that you would learn through your training, I guess.
Exactly.
In your school.
Yeah,
wow, you're amazing, Donna.
No, gosh, no.
And Donna, we had Elodie on, who's an amazing violin player. Yeah. And I think she was saying she probably practices like 5 hours or something a day, which is like how much do you have to sing every day?
I'm a bad singer in terms of practice.
You don't exercise every day?
No, I don't. And I think I guess that's because I've kind of got to the, I'm old now, I'm 40 years old, and I've got to the point where
you're only 10 years past your peak.
Oh yes, exactly, great. But I think it's ideally you should kind of do a little bit a day, 20 minutes an hour, something like that, just to kind of keep it in check.
Sorry, I said your peak, but you said actually you're not fully developed as a singer till you're 30. When would your peak come?
I don't know. Now, right now, yeah.
Exactly. But when you used to sing, you think of all your Pavarottis and stuff.
Yeah,
they're older people. I think
true.
Pavarotti probably looked old when he was 10, but he probably had a beard, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's a beard. This has got his bow tie on. It looks like.
He was incredible, though. The range that he had, the clarity, the technique was incredible.
I love what he did for the UEFA Cup.
Oh, absolutely. Without him, where would we be?
Was it Nessun Dorma or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Is that the UEFA Cup song?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the champions! I don't know. Is that him?
That's a different one, but that's fine.
One, It's all part of the same one. Yeah, I've got on a mega mix, like an opera mega mix.
Yeah.
Donna, so now doing this kind of stuff, obviously your girls, they must be so proud. Did they come and watch you at most of your performances?
Yeah, most of them. I mean, as I say, some of them are a bit weird.
Yeah.
So I have to try and filter things out.
Of course.
Is that appropriate, isn't it? So,
of course.
and also things that they just might not be interested in. But they have been to a few things.
And there's one question.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you one. Nick's not here because I feel it's a silly question. But now, opera, is it in a different language?
That's not a silly language. Not a silly question at all. No.
I never understand it. I understand the emotions.
Yeah.
But I never understand what they're singing. I was dying to ask you this question. Like, hold on, do you have to learn? So please tell me.
So, I mean, traditional opera, it was in Italian. So the kind of the root of opera came from Italy. So a lot of the repertoire is in Italian. You get some really good operas. A lot of Mozart operas are in German.
Wow.
And then you get some Czech. You can get some beautiful French operas as well. So
do you have to learn these?
Yeah.
In their languages?
Yeah.
My days. So how long would it take you? If someone commissioned you to do a piece in French, how long would you have to work on that, would you say?
Yeah, it depends.
It months, years?
I mean, it would be months, I think.
Months.
Yeah, it would be months, yeah. So part of your training, obviously, you have coaches who help you to understand how to pronounce the language. So even sometimes you should obviously go through and translate it all so you know exactly what you're singing. And then you should then get your coach to help you try and learn how to pronounce it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're then suddenly fluent, or you have to be fluent in that particular language.
This particular one means, I only want one ice cream.
Yes,
please
exactly.
give it to me. The crowd will understand by your actions.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, because I've
Yeah.
always wondered.
Yeah.
Whenever I've seen opera, I'm like, I'm sure that's a different language.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm not sure. So when you
Yeah.
said you was an opera singer, that's the first thing that came to my head. I wonder if you sing in English or different
Yeah.
languages.
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I do these days is in English.
Wow.
Because I'm very passionate about opera being a storytelling
Yes.
form. It should be about telling stories.
Yeah.
And there is still a lot of kind of elitism surrounding opera, I think. There's still, it's still very much put on a pedestal.
Yep.
All right,
And-
come on. Right, where is our Essex opera, right?
Exactly.
Now listen,
That's the one.
Danny Dyer can belt out Meatloaf, right? Right, we know that. We've seen him in Rivals. We've seen Danny Dyer singing Meatloaf in Rivals. I want you to write an opera with Danny Dyer
Yeah,
about Essex, right?
yeah.
I think we should set it in the Dengie,
Yeah.
yeah, on the mud flats, because there's
Great.
so much drama there.
Oh, yeah.
And let's have an opera about the Dengie.
Yeah.
We're gonna get sponsored. Who's the people that make the ice cream?
Oh, Rossi.
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah,
get sponsored by
yeah.
Rossi. It's going to be at the Rossi Empire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trying to,
yes.
maybe a battle between the Dengie, Canvey Island, and Southend. Yeah,
Yeah.
different factions of the Rossi family trying to take over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I love it. I love it.
Should we do it?
Yeah,
And we'll
let's
get
do
Danny
it.
Dyer on board.
Absolutely.
Who else can we get on?
Oh, gosh, some famous Essex people that...
Yeah, Gary Newman might be in.
Right, great, yeah.
I'll go around his house and ask him if he'll be in up for it as
fantastic.
well. I think your husband Ed wants to play like a silent
absolutely.
role.
Silent keyboard, yeah.
Silent keyboard in the background.
Yeah, great.
I think we could do this because I've just been inspired. I've just watched the Kneecap film. Have you heard about Kneecap?
I've heard about
Yes,
that.
this Irish language hip hop
Yeah.
crew that were like, we're really proud of the Irish language. We're going to rap in Irish, and people are going to listen to us
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and take some pride in it.
Yeah.
And, it's just fantastic. But now we need that for Essex.
Yeah, the wonderful thing about the Essex dialect is that there's a lot of what's called diphthongs. So where like, all
Hang on,
right,
hang on, is that a
it's
strip
not
club?
not another the diphthong, yeah. But where a vowel changes mid, like all right,
Yeah.
so we can hear it kind of like, oh gosh, it's gone. God knows where that's gone,
Well,
but it's gone. Yeah, why?
No, that's a glottal stop. The water, isn't it? The dropping the T is a glottal stop, right?
Yeah,
Water.
that's
Yeah.
a gloss. Yeah,
I won't do it.
What?
I went like Michael Caine. Didn't I? Yeah. So diphthongs.
So in terms of like singing, with singing, you have to find the pure vowel. So for instance, if you're singing water, you go water. So two kind of very pure. Whereas if it was in
Essex.
if it's
Come
in
on.
water,
Hang on. Can you, right, look. This Essex is very. Can you move back a bit from the mic and do it again? Can you do an opera version? Can you say, "I want a bottle of water"? Yeah.
I want a bottle of water.
Oh my God! You smashed it. That was amazing.
It's
Oh my God!
and there, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have proved that our Essex Rossi Empire story,
Oh mate.
performed by the opera group Glottal Stop, is going to be a smash hit.
If anyone's listening, Chelmsford Theatre, right, we want a room.
Do you know what, Sangeeta? Donna did a lot of sort of comedy skits during lockdown, and they're really, really funny. Like,
I'm
you're
gonna
really,
have to
quite a
go have a
versatile
look.
comedy actor, and I feel like an Essex opera could be the thing to break you on the internet.
That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Let's do
we
it.
could ask the Breezy to come in and do a bit of rap. It could
Oh,
be a bit
yeah.
of opera and rap
Yes,
together.
absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
hip opera.
Yeah.
Opera, yeah, that's a thing. There we go.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Is that what what's his name? Hamilton? Is that hip? Is that hip?
Kinda. Yeah.
Kinda,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really uncultured.
Are you creative? Yes,
I'm
but
di-
I'm just not cultured.
I'm different. Creativity doesn't have to be cultured,
No,
does it?
exactly.
I know what I like, and it's
Yeah.
not people warbling in my ear like
That's fair
the
enough.
E&O stuff. I love opera and I love music, but
Yeah.
come on, no one's impressed. Stop showing off.
I think you're amazing. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Carry on showing off. I want
No, Donna can show off. I'm just talking about the
Yeah.
the Viking horn opera singers.
See, now, once again, with these podcasts, opera is something I've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen. It's not something I'm really into. But now meeting you, and I had this vision of opera singers, their characters. No, they are way beyond my reach. They're not going to want to talk to little old me, and I probably wouldn't want to talk to big old them. But now actually meeting you, you've just demystified everything I would have thought about opera singers. And this has been amazing meeting you today. I never thought I'd meet an opera singer. Well done, Nick.
And there we go. Well, this is what it's all about, like exposing Sangeeta to new creativity and finding out things. But also it's about making things accessible, isn't it? Because if you're not exposed to it, you think it's not for you.
Yes.
I've been exposed to it. I know it's not for me, but everyone else should try. So I keep been reading about opera. I genuinely did it really. I loved Your Little Prince. Anyway, if anyone, in Essex or Chelmsford is interested in like opera or listening to it or taking their kids to it, where can they go?
Where can they go? I mean, most of the big companies, they have offshoots of smaller things that are happening. I mean, there's English touring opera. They're fantastic. And they do what they say on the tin. They tour their operas around and they're always really good.
Only around England?
Only around England. Yeah. I mean,
and they come to Essex? They're not like, we're going to skip Essex. That's a bit like, it's a bit...
Yeah. The problem with Essex, though, is that I don't think that there are that many venues for opera. I'm just trying to think if they've ever been to... I mean, they've got the Mercury, haven't they?
The Mercury, yes.
Yeah.
Lovely room.
Really nice. But then...
That's lovely. Beautifully haunted as well.
Yeah, beautifully haunted.
But I think that the shape of the room there, it feels like a mini Barbican.
It's true, actually. Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. I think we need a central venue in Essex.
Maybe like the Shire Hall.
Yeah, I was just thinking it,
that could be amazing. Can you imagine? Like, it looks like quite a grand building anyway. Like when you think about the opera, you feel like it's a bit fancy. Have an occasion, some steps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe in a building that looks like the thing out Back to the Future in Chelmsford.
It really does.
Sangeeta.
Yes.
Yeah, Sangeeta.
Go for it.
I know your mind's a little bit blown, isn't it? Especially when Donna started singing. I remember the first time I was on a school run and I was talking about something to Donna and she just did a little opera thing. And I was just like, that did not come out of a human. It's not what you expect to hear on a school run, is it? Like someone blasting out octonauts, like in an operatic style. You probably can't even remember, can you? But
I can't actually, no.
You were like, and I was like, what? How do you even summon this?
Oh dear. What I'm just going to say is I had my own perception, like I said, of the opera world. Meeting you here today, this has been phenomenal because actually I want to now go back up there and speak to young people about, have you ever thought about opera? Right? I just want to have a conversation around it and just
this is it.
Kind of, this is amazing because once again, like I say, this isn't something that I would have thought would have interested me until meeting you.
Yeah. But imagine this, Sangeeta, young people, like, they feel like, I want to be a YouTuber or a footballer or whatever. And Donna, you probably didn't even think, I want to be an opera singer. It's just because someone took you to that castle.
Yeah, I know.
That chateau.
Yeah, exactly.
And unlocked this incredible life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, absolutely. Your journey is amazing.
Thank
and meeting you.
Thank you so much, Donna. Yeah. Sangeeta, thank you very much. Always.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Donna.
And
you, Nick.
The Ragga Enforcer isn't with us today because he's ill, so get well soon, Jaden. Yeah. But Nick set everything up, didn't he? Big up yourself. Yeah, thank you, Nick. There we go. Nick set it up. He did that. And thank you to City Sound. Thank you for Paul for helping us set up as well. Thank you to NGDA, Essex County Council, for the equipment. And don't forget to follow us and send us questions. What sort of questions do you like? How many leopard print pieces of clothing does Sangeeta own? I don't know. Send us questions like that on r.u.creative.podcast on Instagram, and then you can find out loads of good stuff. So, Donna, I'm sorry, can you sing us out? Can you do this like, Are You Creative? Or just do some Essex opera. But we're going to say bye now, okay? So we say bye. Bye. Give us an operator.